So this is pointing to the non-duality that's missed. Non-duality is missed by the normal experience. The experience of me is an experience of something happening. And it's not that something isn't happening. In a way, everything is happening. The things that are appearing, just as it seems. But it's an appearance. What's happening is an appearance. It's not happening. It's appearing. And there's a difference. So the experience of me, what we call the dream of me, why is it a dream? It's a dream because it's my perception is off. It's missing the whole perspective of what's going on. It's looking at, it's like looking at a movie. My eyes, fixated, limited, my whole vision restricted to just the frame of the movie, which makes it seem like this movie is happening. Well, the movie's happening in the sense that it's appearing. So to say that it's not happening isn't true in that sense. I mean, it is happening in the sense that it's appearing. It's appearing full dimension, full color. My experience is happening, but it's an appearance, and that's what's missed. It's not seen that it's a dream. Dream, this isn't a great word. It's a limited thing. It's not. It's a restricted view. It's not including the totality. It's missing the totality of what is real, what was really actually happening. And to miss in that way, as the me experience, again, the me experience is it's seeing a sliver of what is actually here. Converting or translating or everything that's here, narrowing it down to this movie frame and having that experience. I mean, that becomes my world. It becomes my everything. So there isn't anyone who's having that restricted experience. That's what it means, is there's no me. Doesn't mean that there isn't something like a me appearing. I mean, obviously there is, Obviously I am appearing. Obviously I exist in that sense as the character with all the qualities that describe who I am, what I am, which of course are continually in flux, but they're real in that sense that that appearance of me is real. But it's an appearance. That's what it's what we're talking about, and that's what's missed. Essentially, so I'm saying that there is no one who's having this restricted experience because there isn't anything restricted. There's no way to restrict everything that is. Everything that is what is actual. The restricted dream that is the me experience. So again, a sliver, we could say, of what is. A version, cut, like a As you would cut a movie, the 2-hour version. There's a director's cut, and there's a really big cut, which includes everything that's been left out, all the different camera angles, all the different edits. Well, how many edits are there to this experience? I have an idea of what my life is, which is a particular version. Well, which is the cut that we would say is actually my life, my experience? Which version is it? I'm the one who's I'm the director, right? The editor, the studio. I'm everything, and I'm determining what version is going to be the official version. But how do you know what is the official version of my experience? There's no one there to look at it. There's no one there to say, yeah, it's this one and not, the infinite variations. Well, as I'm describing this, you can see that nothing like what I'm describing is actually what is. Life doesn't come in versions. It isn't editable. It doesn't have different points of view. Yeah, there are a million versions of whatever's happening, like the Rashomon, you get 10 people to describe a traffic accident, you'll have 10 different stories, right? Because there's an infinite number of versions and there's an infinite number of ways to report on whatever's happening. But me is the idea that I've got final cut, I'm the one. I'm the director, I'm the author. You hear there's no authorship. That's what they're saying. That's what there isn't. This idea that there's a final cut, a version of what's going on. In other words, it's there on the, it's there on Netflix. You can look at it. You can see what's in the first frame. How does it end? What happens in the third act? And, how did this actor, what lines did he say? And what happened? It's all there. That's my life. I know what my life is. I can tell you. I can, and I'm suffering it. That's the important thing. All this other stuff is trivial. The important thing is that it's a pain for me. I'm suffering it. And I'm suffering it, the reality of it. Well, I'm suffering that cut, that version that's there on the screen. It's clear, crystal clear. I can stop it, and examine each pixel and analyze it to try to get the essence of what really is happening. What is really the story? Well, you can do that with a movie to a degree. Good luck if you want to really get somewhere. Final, essential, what is it in the movie? Of course, but, that's what a critic does. That's what film historians do, or it's what anybody can do. Just look at the movie and see what you see. And the me experience is essentially assuming that life is that life is this thing. There it is. Well, call it an object. It objectifies experience. That's what me is. Me is an objectified experience, objectified version. In other words, it assumes the position of the subject, and then it projects an object that I know to be my life, to be experience. Again, it's this restricted view, but it's conceptual, it's an idea. And the point is, it's not existing anywhere in actual reality. It doesn't happen. That's what it means to say that nothing is happening. Again, it doesn't mean that nothing is here, because, well, everything's here and nothing's here is what that's what it is. Everything is here and nothing is here. And the stuff that shows up is showing up, it's appearing. And my life is appearing in a sense. There is something there. Just like a dream at night is there. It happened. There was a pink elephant in my living room, and it made drinks for everybody, and then a UFO came in through the window. In the dream it happened. But it happened the way everything happens, which is there's an appearance in this moving mystery. Well, the me doesn't see the moving mystery. That's the thing. The me is the assumption, the conclusion, the experience that this director's cut version, or the director's version, or we could say the editor's version, the final edit, which is my experience, doesn't have any relationship to what's actually occurring, what's actually here. Because what's actually here is exponentially, you can't even calculate, it's bigger than this little version. Includes so much more. It includes, actually, infinitely more. Because what's here is this infinite what is. Well, now that, if you could make a movie of that, then you'd have something. And if you could say, well, yeah, this is my life. Here, look at this movie. It includes everything. It's a movie of everything. Absolutely everything. Well, that's what I am. That's what you are. That's the actual. Okay, it's not the story. That's another word we use for the version. The movie version is the story. And there's an author, writes down the story, and that's the way it is. There's not an infinite infinite number of versions of my story. Not in the story. But you could say, in a way, the version that includes the infinity of versions, well, that's what is actually here. That's what is. So this moment is not happening, because it isn't happening in the sense of a story that I can tell from a point of view sitting and looking at it. I can tell you, I can tell you what I see from where I am and say what happened. And that's the me. The me is assuming a position and assuming, it's assuming kind of God's position, because it's assuming that what I know, what I can tell of what's happening, what I feel, what I understand, what I conceptualize, is it. It's what is. Well, that's kind of God's, assuming that my point of view is God's point of view, as it were. Well, what would God's point of view? God's point of view on what is happening would include everything, include all points of view. It would include every possible, everything. Well, everything is everything. It's what is, but it's not not a story.